Welcome to part 2 of A Day in the Life of Hassan Piker. In this video, Hassan and pal Noah take an Uber to Times Square.
It's my hot body, I'll do what I want.
It's showtime.
Part 2.
Moving right along in search of good times and good news.
Hello, fancy seeing you here.
That's incredibly creepy.
Back.
And we're back. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Boys, girls, and Emmys.
I prefer theys, bays, and gays.
So we're on our way to a No Kings rally right now. We're gonna intercept it.
What are you, the Iron Dome?
I believe it started at Central Park and it's making its way down right now. And wait, let me actually check to see if we're actually back. Okay.
You don't trust your videographer?
But yeah, we're on our way to a No Kings rally right now here in Manhattan.
No, you missed the rally. You're going to intercept the march.
And they are, I don't know how many people are actually out there right now. I don't know how big the crowds are. I haven't really seen a lot of local news coverage on it, but...
Well, you haven't been looking in the last 2 hours that you've been live streaming.
We are going to be intercepting it.
He said that twice because it makes him feel manly.
On the way downtown as people are walking.
As people tend to do in a protest march.
And one of the reasons why I wanted to do this is because obviously there's a lot of chaos and a lot of commotion.
That has no meaning.
In the United States of America, if you're familiar, if you're aware, I think crowds look pretty big.
Which is important because big crowds look good on camera.
Okay. But these No Kings rallies are put together by an assortment of different like advocacy organizations and groups.
While a variety of groups do get involved with the No Kings protest, there is a specific No Kings group that organizes these protests.
It's like very localized as well all around the country, but like the umbrella group that owns the protests is 50501 or 50150?
It's 5051, and no, they're partners. They don't own it. Why would you use the word own?
I think
have
it's
no idea.
Okay, Hassan not knowing what's going on, I understand, but I thought Noah was an experienced journalist.
Well, anyway, it's like Indivisible. They're like very
Indivisible.
They're like a very liberal organization for the most part. So there's been like criticisms about
Which organization? Which organization? 5051? No Kings? Indivisible? Which one, Hassan?
what these
He's about to say a whole lot of nothing in the interest of posturing to his viewers who are ignorant of the real world.
protests represent and what they should represent, and people talk about like how disorganized it is or whatever.
Which people?
But I think like I have a policy that any kind of action is good
You're implying that the No Kings protests are a bad action.
in general. Anything that gets people outside, gets people organized is good.
Well, that's a really broad statement. Nazism could get people outside and marching, but is that good?
And so we're gonna test that theory on whether or not people actually are on the ball.
This is the first I'm hearing of a theory.
As far as like what some of the more prescient,
It's prescient.
some of the more I want to figure out what the biggest issues are
No, you don't. You just want to have a meet and greet with your fans.
for the people that are at the No Kings rally. So we're gonna be hopefully talking to some people and seeing where the resentment is coming from, what has led them to go out and take to the streets on this.
Resentment. That's a terrible word. That's another word that has an implication that their feelings are not valid.
Otherwise beautiful Saturday afternoon here.
And there he just stated that despite the rally, it's still a beautiful day. What the fuck side are you on, man?
It's 2:43 p.m. Eastern time in New York, New York.
Whoa, buddy. When you started the stream this morning, you said it was early. You were starting early. You were getting up early. It's almost 3 p.m. What do you think is early? Noon?
What do you think, Noah? Do you feel like these, I mean, we've talked about this a little bit. There's not really a lot of anti-war rallies taking place in the country.
We're covering Hassan, not Noah, so we will be speeding up his parts.
Yeah.
All of those thousands.
I mean, this is also, this is part of what I talk about when I say like liberalism is the mass movement, unfortunately.
Why, unfortunately? Would you rather it were conservatism?
Most people are self-identifying liberals, even if their worldview might be a little bit more radical than that.
So liberalism isn't radical enough for you. What do you want us to do then?
I have to open the door and close it real quick because my shit is stuck. Sorry. My trench coat was stuck.
Aw, look at this fashionista. His trench coat got stuck. Not just a coat, but a trench coat. I'm surprised he didn't drop the designer.
But yeah, liberals, most people are self-identifying as liberals.
The only conclusion I can come to is that he considers people who aren't liberal to not be people.
Even if they have, if they got more political education, they would recognize that there's something beyond that. That's a big part of my advocacy.
Well, yeah, that's your job. You're an op. Your whole thing is to turn young liberals into terrorist supporters.
As far as the foreign policy goes, though,
A little confused. This isn't Foreign Policy Day. This is No King's Day. And while, yes, I recognize that this relates to the acts that a president might take, it seems off base here.
I think
Prediction. He's about to use a whole lot of words to say a whole lot of nothing.
we have a very deliberate design in mainstream media for many, many years to totally decouple Americans broadly from
Mainstream media is designed to keep Americans separated.
from even thinking about what our actions are responsible for globally.
From recognizing the humanity of the ills that America perpetuates upon the world.
And what kind of impact that even has on our domestic existence.
Well, it brings people like you into the world, anchor babies who are here to promote an agenda that's distinctly anti-American.
So what I mean by that is people just see that as something that's happening over there. War is constant.
He's stating Americans are emotionally distanced from foreign wars.
People are always going. There's a poverty draft angle to it as well. There's no real draft like you said.
Because only poor people are forced into the armed services, most people don't give a shit about war.
So people don't have to think about it, and they don't see it in the news that much either. And so war and constant war is only an afterthought for an overwhelming number of Americans.
What does that have to do with the protesters? Connect your ideas, please.
Even though it has a major domestic impact, because as I always like to point out,
Should I start adding a self-referential pronoun counter to these videos?
every dollar that you spend bombing a school is a dollar that you could have spent here building a school.
That's all you got? Dude, that's greeting card talk. Give me something heavier. I thought you were a professional. I know everybody looks at their phones these days, and this makes me kind of an old, but is Hassan paying any attention to what Noah's saying?
I think they're open to some pretty radical ideas about how to tame it. More radical, certainly, than the political system currently allows for.
Absolutely. That's what I was trying to stress with the hit pieces that have been coming and rolling in.
When did this turn from a conversation about no kings to a conversation about critics of Hassan?
This past week, where it's I'm just one person.
Why are we talking about you? Are you implying that you're a movement equal to those of 50, 51, indivisible, no kings?
The reason why I'm popular.
I mean, you're 1.5 size.
Yeah, okay, I'm one and a half person.
The reason that I'm popular. That's it. That's all he wants.
But the reason why I'm popular is not because I have the capacity to hypnotize people into assuming certain positions.
Sweetie, nobody believes you have that capability.
It's because they do have those positions. I'm simply communicating those positions. I'm able to identify the shared resentment that we all have.
What do you resent? You have nothing to resent.
With the inability to change, the sense of overall powerlessness, and the demands. I'm just able to identify the same shared resentments that we have.
Hey, that's what that guy did in Germany.
And communicate them more effectively.
If you're such an effective communicator, why do I literally have to translate you?
So even if you were to take me out.
To the ball game.
Somehow, it would not change that overall force of resentment that exists in the base right now. That's reflected in the polls as well when you look at the approval ratings of the Democratic Party still.
Yes, you speak a lot of resentment. Have you thought about any ways to ameliorate it?
Not as great as they should be, especially when we have an unprecedented, unpopular president.
Yeah, thanks for that.
And the only form of political opposition that our system allows for is actually even less effective at reaching people. You know, I mean, it is a bad joke.
Yeah. And it's so funny that like we're in many ways relitigating 2016.
Yes.
And we're relitigating 2024 as well.
No, we're not. Most of us are dealing with reality. That's why we have all of these protest movements.
And especially in the case of Abdul al-Sayed, we're relitigating it in the same place where they already made the exact same mistakes that they are seemingly committed to.
We're going back to the graveyard of 2016.
And 2024. Like they're committing to the same exact issue where they're like, no, you don't understand. We have to find a...
Just because Abdul al-Sayed is running in Wisconsin doesn't mean this is connected to the 2016 election.
We have to find a way, we have to find a way to like find a reasonable, moderate, centrist opinion on an issue that is 90-10.
Who's we? What's your political affiliation?
Where we still maintain a posture where we're like critical of Israel, like an Israel critical posture.
Or with...
I still don't know who we are, but I am concerned that you put Israel critical in finger quotations. Was Hassan paying attention? Let's find out.
Yeah. I do love this though. This is like the common meme.
If you guess no, well, obviously.
This is what this is such a perfectly like internet phenomenon too. And it doesn't have like a real base of support in the party at all.
This is a cartoon that says that centrists are choosing between people who believe in civil rights and people who want to intentionally murder people of color. And none of it is true and none of it relates to anything. You just like it because your face is in it.
I don't think it has a real basis in the real world at all. Like most people don't know me, and I'm sure there might even be more people that know who Nick Fuentes is now.
Oh, bitch, you are so thirsty for a compliment.
Than someone like myself, I suspect. I mean, he dined with the president, right?
One of your followers made it. You didn't pull it out of the ether.
But most people's opinion of him is that he is, not a very favorable person.
Right, so they'll see I'm portrayed as his opposite, right? And they'll see that I'm awesome, right?
I think, like, by and large, most people don't know who I am, but the ones that do have a relatively positive opinion of me.
Oh my God, you guys, at this point, he hasn't seen the polling.
Because of the values that I represent and what they've seen of my advocacy.
You represent Turkish supremacy, and your values are those of Hezbollah and the Houthis.
But if you were to look at Twitter, it's like I'm a devil.
Everybody's a devil on Twitter. The place is a cesspool.
Depending on who you're talking to, I'm either like actively trying to infiltrate the Democratic Party to destroy it so that Republicans could win.
Nobody thinks that. We know you're a foreign agent.
Or I'm, a Hamasnik.
Why did you say that in Hebrew?
Who wants to get the Democrats to commit to offering material support to resistance fronts all around the world.
You say resistance, I say terrorist.
I just want to defeat the Republicans.
No, you don't. That would eat into your bottom line.
Like, when it comes to electoralism, regardless of my worldview, regardless of my perspective, I just want to defeat the Republicans. I don't want Republicans to be in charge.
But you said the Democrats would do the exact same thing the Republicans are doing, and now you're saying you don't want the Republicans in charge and they're not exactly the same? Will you make up your mind?
I'm tired of the, evil Chud menace, man.
Why are you worried about the Chuds? They don't vote either.
Then you wouldn't really be splitting hairs over support for Israel. This very obvious, generational divide.
Dude, that's why my favorite...
It'll, we've had this conversation over and over again, but it is sort of, shocking.
My favorite is Maddie Iglesias, who is also...
Wait, The guy who said in November 2023 that the war in Gaza was just a war.
Finally come to the conclusion that Israel is a dead end, and that, like, I mean, he straight up, he quote tweeted the Adam Wren
I don't believe you.
post. Wait, where is it? And he said, as someone who absolutely fears the left's growing power, I think the smart play is for moderate Dems to go on Piker's show and agree with him that Israel is bad, and then stick to their guns on other moderate stuff.
He retweeted it. He didn't say that himself. And you know what? Even a retweet is bad. Fuck the guy.
I mean, but this is where it's like, I like love it, because it's like, okay, Matt Iglesias is telling his side, surrender please. It's like, it's not worth it.
Wait, what do you mean his side? He's a pundit. He doesn't actually do anything.
Yeah, no.
Like, even fucking him, the most stubborn asshole in the world.
Yeah.
I mean, I already said fuck the guy, but apparently he's a stubborn asshole too.
Yeah, because it's such a, like, you have to be unimaginably echo chambered. Like, you have to be living on a totally separate plane of existence to not recognize where the public is at on this issue.
There's our explanation. Hassan lives on a totally separate plane of existence.
We may be approaching a position soon.
Yeah,
it may be worth walking.
They're not there yet at all. So
then we're fine.
Yeah,
then we're fine.
because they're walking here.
Yeah.
You know what would have been a really good place for a journalist to be? The rally at Central Park.
Do you want to see the polls that Manhattan Institute did? It was the only time I've ever been polled amongst, like, I guess, other figures in the Democratic
Manhattan
Party.
Institute, by the way, which is like a right-wing think tank.
Yeah.
That's not the part that got me. It's the part where he said other members of the Democratic Party.
But I think they're probably doing...
I don't think that they're... No. I don't think that it means their polls are bad. I just mean that, like, whatever they find, like...
You're already walking it back because it's a positive poll, huh?
Put it this way, I'm preparing the audience for the fact that if the numbers aren't so bad, that is evidence against interest with them.
Yeah, so...
You got that, guys? If the numbers are bad, they're a right-wing institution and can't be trusted. But if the numbers are good, then they're okay and we're chill with them.
They found that 55% of the voters that they asked didn't know who I was.
I'm surprised 45% of the people they polled actually know who he is.
And I have a 50-50 split amongst the favorability, unfavorability. I think I'm at a +1, right?
This is giving me flashbacks to the website Hot or Not.
And it's interesting because it's like, I think it's like 14% like me, have a favorable view of me, and then 13% don't have a favorable view of me.
Do you think he can go more than 5 minutes without talking about himself?
And it's like 55% don't know who I am.
And they are the blessed ones, for they do not know.
So the conversation that we're having
He's about to say something so convoluted, I'm still working it out.
is also stupid in that regard as well, because they've the people that are on the third way side of things, the people who are like, centrists that are trying to maintain their grip of power on the party, they are using me as like a signal.
You're a tool, but you're not that kind of tool.
To like left bash. That's all this is. That's what I keep trying to repeat and reiterate over and over again. It's not because like I'm some sort of kingmaker.
He thinks if he keeps repeating that people don't think that, people will start actually thinking that.
Yeah.
It's like if you couldn't make a nuke, you take out the other guy's nuke.
Yeah, Josh Kraushar this is his week, dude.
Oh, Hotline Josh.
Yeah, this is his friggin' week.
I had to look this guy up. I didn't know who he was because I don't watch Fox News.
I love people saying, do you condemn the Jewish Defense League under his...
Do you condemn the
JDL? Really... Do you condemn the JDL?
I didn't even know there was a JDL.
Interesting conversation as well, like seeing people straight up, like Zoran Mamdani came out and spoke about the assassination attempt against Nordin Kaswani, pro-Palestinian advocate, Palestinian herself, and every single one of his like top replies was literally people saying that he's anti-Semitic for calling out the JDL.
That entire anecdote took place on Twitter, therefore it's meaningless to the real world. Nobody cares what happens on Twitter.
It's like, that's a winning argument.
It doesn't matter. Nobody's on Twitter to see this shit.
But like the killing of Alex Oda, yeah, exactly.
Assassinate like prominent activists and stuff.
And so there is this, you know, I think the idea that like Mayor Kahana, for example, and that like the JDL, like that these were, you know, groups, by the way, the JDL's equivalent in Israel, a political party called Kach, was outlawed.
Basically, Noah and Hassan are talking about Jewish supremacists and trying to convey to their audience that Jewish supremacy is a bigger issue than it actually is.
In Israel, they were too extreme for even Israel at that time.
Well, because like Baruch Goldstein was an acolyte, right? Like,
yes, correct. And now, to be clear, like that's not to say that like, wow, Israel did such a good job. It's that they outlawed that party, and now disciples of that party's, you know, intellectual.
Well, they have
forebears.
Jewish power now.
Well, yeah, they've like, I was about to say, now you have like Smotrich and in particular Ben Gvir, who come from that school of thought.
What they're trying to do here is associate all American Jews with Kahanists in Israel.
Yeah,
but no, that's what I mean. There are Jewish, or there has been a history of Jewish organizations doing this kind of stuff, and the Jewish and groups like the ADL, you know, they get to just shake that off.
I know I'm not here to react to Noah, but holy crap, guy, talk about conflation. The ADL doesn't have responsibility for the Kahanist or the JDL. Why would you put all of the Jews together in a monolith and say they're responsible for each other?
As they accuse other people of doing what they themselves have done.
They? Who's they? Are you saying it's the ADL's fault that the JDL existed?
we're like a block out, I think.
Yeah, we're close.
Thank goodness. I'm getting car sick.
Should we just, is it faster to walk at this
Yes,
point?
at this point, yes.
Should we, yeah, we should, sir, we can get out here, it's fine.
Okay.
Thank you.
I appreciate the manners. See, I can say nice things too.
Wait, did you...
Just saved this next bit for part 3, but it's so funny.
New York, baby.
Wait, sorry.
Did I drop anything?
Look at his cute little feet! He's wearing saddle shoes. That's so 1950s adorbs. Oh my god.
No, you're good.
You got your phone?
Yeah. All right, let's do it.
He should have somebody pick out his clothes for him. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was the first part of our journey and the end of part 2 of A Day in the Life of Hasan Piker. If you enjoyed this video, if you're enjoying this series, like, subscribe, leave a comment. If you didn't like the video, leave a comment telling us how Hasan Piker is part of the Democratic establishment.
Hurry back. Be sure to bring your death certificate if you decide to join us. Make final